I guess they got you for, I think they had 40 assists on the night. That kind of just moved the ball around and got all the kind of stuff they wanted to get on your defense.
Yeah, we didn't get them out of rhythm much. Started the game, couple turnovers, and didn't turn them over again for a long stretch. Only getting 14 is probably not enough, considering we're relying on some of those turnovers. We just didn't guard the cutting to the basket near well enough, and then the thing you have to do against these guys is you gotta score at the basket. I thought we had way too many misses right at the rim, and it's coming the other way quick. And for a kick out three and stuff, I thought we had the ball in position to score a lot more than we did inside. I thought we had more than 50-50 on some offensive rebounds, about 10 of them that we didn't come away with. Like we had two guys looking like they were going to come away with it, and we wouldn't get them. We didn't rip, just not physically, we didn't hold our own enough around the rim at our own end, and that takes a lot of some of that transition out, right? So, like I said, you got to score, you got to put it in the basket a little bit more to stop some of the transition.
Coach, in moments, did you feel as though the speed and pace of the game was speeding up decision making?
Not really. I thought again, I thought like at the half, I didn't think we played worth a darn defensively, and we're right in it. I thought we came out in the second half with a good charge. We played a good stretch of defense in the start the second half, but didn't really. I mean, I think I said one time we were up two. I said, "Geez, we ought to be up 8 or 10 right now with the defense we've played." We didn't capitalize on it enough in that stretch. Listen, it's coming. We know it's coming at you fast, right? And it's gonna go that way. And I don't, we didn't turn it over excessively 10 times or something like that, right? We had a couple of like goofy ones, right? We had one out of a timeout. We just ran a nice play and got a bucket, and we put a little counter to that, and Pascal he was standing there wide open and went behind it. Pass went behind him. Just a couple. And I think, other than that, offensively, I think we created pretty good shots, except for we didn't finish enough around the rim.
The Precious gave you a really nice lift again.
Yep.
Is he kind of really getting to a point where you're kind of looking for him, you're trusting him, and want to put a little more load on him?
Well, I think he's gonna have it now, right? He's getting up in the third, playing virtually starter minutes, whether he's starting or not. I would imagine he will as well with OG situation there with his wrist. So yeah, probably needs to be a little bit more involved, a little bit more aggressive, because he's really making good decisions when he's deciding to go, and he's either getting to the free throw line or putting it in the rim.
I mean, you did so many good things. Is there some credit where, like the Warriors, when they're moving and cutting like that, I mean, they've got to be one of the toughest, if not the toughest team to guard in the league.
For sure, they are the level and quantity of shooters, speed that they run and cut. Nobody else has that when they're rolling. It's a challenge. I always say that they run really fast, and you better be ready to run fast with them, right? And change directions.
We can obviously look at Fred's numbers over the last we can change and say, wow, he's shooting a lot better. Does he look different to you just from an eye test standpoint, or
Yeah, I mean, I always say that when when he's getting some to the rim on some layups and blowing past people and laying it in, that he's feeling really good, right? And I think that's going to directly translate to how he's feeling from the 3-point line with his legs and getting the release off clean and things like that. Yeah, he played really well.
And with Pascal tonight, just a rough night. Did you see more than that? He obviously not as efficient as he'd like.
Yeah, not again, pretty similar. Got to play through a little more contact, finish some of those off. Maybe draw a little bit more and kick back out. He did some good job of that at times. But again, I think he would say that he got hemmed up in there a couple times, but I think most of the time he got himself to a pretty good spot with clearance, to take a decent shot.
Coach, how much weight do you put into just kind of losing OG earlier in the game, and how much would that have kind of maybe impacted the final result?
Well, you certainly needed some defense out there, right? He can provide that, but what do you do? I mean, you're gonna have things like that happen in a game, and you gotta play. And I think Precious did a great job of stepping in for him. Really good.
And then going, you're on a back-to-back with Portland tomorrow. How do you get the guys to kind of maybe forget about this one and repeat the same defensive effort that they had in Sacramento?
Well, that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to go up there, and there's no other choice other than to dig in and go to work and put a good game plan together and try to go out there and execute it at a super physical, effort-wise, high level.
Nick was saying that in your game, he sees you blowing by guys and getting to the rim and finishing, and your legs look fresher on the 3-point shot. Like, are you feeling better, or is the game explain how?
Absolutely, yeah. I think just getting my legs under me took a little bit longer than I would like it to. Obviously, at the beginning of the season, and you don't need to, go through the details of all of that. But I made a lot of drastic changes to my body and to my approach and to my, preparation and just the way that I'm approaching this season. So it took a little bit longer for me to find it, but I feel good where I'm at, and just got to find ways to maintain that on a nightly basis. And when I fresh and I got that pop, I feel like I can compete against anybody in the league, and it's my job to continue to find ways to stay ready and stay fresh for this team. Yes.
Is it a matter of kind of having to find a balance between the directions without fatiguing yourself?
Yeah, I think it's just different. Everything is just different. So you tweak and you try to, subtract and add and what maybe that I'm finding a new routine here or there or whatever. So I was kind of just adding a lot without really taking away some of the stuff that I used to do. And then you go through a couple games where you don't make threes, and that probably could attribute that to some legs, but I feel like I've been playing great basketball all season. The three just ain't falling, and when the three not falling, then you look at those percentages and they're pretty nasty. And then the three comes back, it's going to look like this. So I know what I'm capable of as a player. Just gotta find ways to win. That's really all I'm focused on. Is I know what I can do individually, but I would rather come out of these things with wins at the end of the night, and that's the ultimate challenge as the leader of this team.
Fred, what did you feel like was the difference between the way you guys came out defensively against Sacramento versus tonight, and how much did OG impact that too?
We were good. We were good early in the game. First couple possessions, we caused a lot of turnover. We start the game with a steal and a layup, another steal. Like we were locked in and keyed in. Again, it's just 18 threes will do that. The untimely whistles that we want to argue or whatever the case may be, that's just not going to go your way all the time. And then, like I said, just mistakes at the wrong time of the game, and a 30. We're probably okay without that 31-point fourth quarter there. You still give yourself a chance to win late. They made a couple more buckets, but again, got to flush this one and move on to tomorrow. We got another, hot team tomorrow.
Well, I'm glad you brought up tomorrow because he's a quick turnaround. So what do you feel is going to be the main priority in taking care of Portland? Obviously, Damian, he's just playing incredible basketball with a recent 60-point game.
Yeah, well, I get to go from Steph to Dame, so welcome to my life in the NBA. I got my work cut out for me. So if y'all let me get out of here, maybe I can go get some rest and get ready for tomorrow.